The ladies of Being Mary Jane were in a New York state of mind tonight. Stay tuned for Feeling Exposed on the Being Mary Jane After Show on Black Hollywood Live now.
I keep doing R&B each week.
This is my song.
Yeah.
I think that's our vibe.
That's our vibe. We're R&B. We're loving R&B in the 90s.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm a sucker for some R&B.
on the show. Yeah, and I love Ro James. He's a great artist. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and you're here with your favorite panel, the Being Mary Jane panel on Black Hollywood Live. My name is Tsahai, and you can find me on social media at Say Hi Tsahai. That's SayHiTsahai. And who do I have with me?
Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Portia Carter. You can find me on all social media at Portia Carter.
Hey, welcome back. My name is Sarah Lyons. You can find me on Twitter at Sarah Lioness, Lioness with a Y.
And my name is Raquel Harris. You can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
So tonight's episode did not disappoint, ladies,
No.
but we got a surprise ending. I did not expect that to happen.
No.
Let's get right into it. So we start with the ratings are low. You know,
Yeah,
they're blaming it
still.
on the transition from Rhonda to MJ, and they're trying to do anything
They start
to...
every episode with these.
Yeah,
Yes,
they blame it on her.
ratings.
But I mean, they really came up, and it took some work. So MJ and Kara are talking. Kara's back. You know, everybody's happy to have her, but the transition is a little shaky. And then Justin and Mary Jane are still, you know, trying to keep their relationship a secret.
And then Danny comes in.
Miss Danny is there, ready to
She
take
trying
charge.
to set fire.
Right.
And then, hold on. Little Danny baby girl, she working for the other team. Like, she
do you
doing stuff
mean?
on the slick inside. Like, how she
A little
gave...
later.
Yeah.
But so they start with wanting to, you know, have this different story with this kind of Martha Stewart-like lady who's supposed to come in the studio, but she's saying these controversial remarks.
Right.
Now, if it was you guys, you have your job where you know things are kind of, you know, you're kind of in trouble, they're blaming it on you, and you have this opportunity to do something where you have to highlight a person that you don't like. What would you do?
I totally agree, and I feel like I often agree with Justin when it comes to a journalistic aspect of it. It's good ratings, and controversy it makes good TV, it makes good PR, and at the same time, it is a form of censorship when you're telling someone to not express how they feel, regardless if you disagree with it or not. Let someone share how they feel, and then you can combat it, and I feel like MJ handled it very, very, very well. So, I mean, I feel like if you're looking for good ratings, but at the same time, you don't want to highlight something that's negative or you feel like it could give a platform to a bad agenda, then you can cater it to the way that you need to have it. But I feel like they handled it in a great way, and I think that the discussion it needed to be had.
Yeah.
I second everything Raquel just said.
And
Yeah.
Sarah, what'd you think?
I agree. I mean, I understand the hesitation between like having someone on that you know would increase ratings. Ratings is everything, especially for
Right.
TV and everything. But they also maybe didn't want to seem like have her guest on the show like they agree with what she's saying. So
Right.
I understand like their cause for concern. So I don't know. I was on the fence with that. But I feel like Garrett is like. I feel like he goes back and forth a lot.
Yeah, like sometimes, Garrett, I need you to get a backbone. Like, choose a side.
Yeah,
Like,
be a news director.
Yes,
Direct
like,
the
he's
news.
like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Because when MJ said no, he said no. When Danny and
Yeah.
Justin said yes, he said yes. When the
Exactly.
PR person said no, he said no. And it's just like, you gonna say no or yes.
Yeah.
But it was
But
just...
we saw that, you know, Garrett just needed a little love in his life.
Well,
little
see,
later.
but I feel like I think Garrett did it in a great way, though. He got his entire team together because he might have had his own feelings about it.
Right.
But having the team together to discuss it and then come to a final conclusion, I think that was the best way to handle it because it's a huge story, but at
Yeah.
the same time, you have a diverse group of people that you're working with, so they all have different views. So coming together and like hashing it out, I feel like that's how you should do
And
it.
I appreciate him getting everybody's opinion, but because
Right.
at the end of the day, he has to answer to the big bosses.
Right.
That's not something
Yeah.
everybody else has to think about. And some bosses, they wouldn't even get everybody else's opinion. They would do
Yeah.
what they
Make the
want to
final
do.
decision.
Absolutely.
So in addition to this issue with, you know, this woman who's saying these controversial remarks, we have Niecy in NYC, okay?
With her Tinder boo.
supposed to be sightseeing.
Okay,
But she get knocked
Well,
up.
she sightseeing.
She saw some sights,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
She saw some
Something.
Inside
sights
of his apartment.
of
Okay.
Akil. Okay, now last week, we weren't sure about Akili, but I was feeling him this week, girl.
Yes.
See, Rocky, tell me what you thought about Akili, because
you
you said he
know,
was sus last week.
He was sus. Well, yes, he was sus. We talk about homosexual a lot in this episode,
Yes, they
but
did.
he was a little sus. But at the same time, internet dating is it's either a really good thing or a really bad thing, so you really just have to be careful with it. But at the
Right.
same time, I liked how they highlighted black men being artists and not just being a rapper. And Niecy had talked about that. She was like, I thought she was going to be a rapper or something like that.
Right.
But he ended up being an artist as a painter, and I thought that was amazing. And his love for bigger women, I thought that was beautiful too, because I feel like that type of beauty doesn't get highlighted at all often. So I mean, I don't know, I'm here for him now.
I agree with that. But what I found interesting was the difference between somebody coming from Atlanta, down south, to New York and seeing the differences. And
Yes.
having lived in New York and having lived in Virginia, I've experienced that. When people come to New York, they're like, it's dirty, it's smelly, everything's so small. And you can't expect New York to be the same way your city is.
There's a lot of misconceptions.
But a lot of people do that. They come to New York and they're like, why you gotta take the train? Why can't you drive? And New York is its own monster. So Niecy was like saying, your apartment's too small.
Why don't you get a car?
But wait a minute.
It does smell.
It does, especially in the
Bigger
summer.
cities were congested.
Yes,
Hey,
definitely. And if you have a car in New York, you're basically just getting a lot of tickets, and your car's going to be scratched up.
Okay.
And by the winter, it's going to be messed up because you're going to need new shocks because of all the potholes.
Buried in snow.
Exactly. So but it was funny to see that comparison. Do you think Niecy was judging him unfairly? Because Niecy, you got some work to do too.
Okay,
work to do.
calling somebody
Girl.
broke. You like, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, she came there, like, clearly she came for a booty call. Like, you don't live in New York. Where do you think this is gonna go? And she's judging his apartment, judging all this. But then, I mean, next thing you know, they're in the bed. Like, Niecy, what are you doing? Like,
So did you judge her for having sex with him too quickly?
I did, but I don't know why I was surprised.
Yeah, see, I was disappointed, but I definitely wasn't surprised because that was my prediction last week. She was going to go and she was going to be with homeboy. And I believe that she's just trying to figure it out. She watched her auntie do the same stuff. She watched her auntie have cutty buddies and do this and do that and just go out and find her way. And so she's following in her footsteps. Not let alone that's who she looks up to. That's who she admires. True. So when she finds someone and she sees what he's about and everything that he has going on, of course she's going to try to figure him out. But yes, she's judging him because she doesn't know that life. She was raised around money. She has an auntie who take care of her every need. Like when she gave her all of the tickets to go sightsee, she gave her a stack of money too. She like, here, make sure you go, do your thing. But I respect Akili because he does have passion. He has something that Niecy doesn't have, which is why she's intrigued by him. And she don't even know that like kind of planted a seed and set a fire in her.
Right.
Like, I need to figure out something about me because he has passion. Like, he's literally paying his rent by doing work there so that he can stay home and paint because it's hard to live in, New York. And then he's living on his own. Like, he, first of all, of course, he may be broke, but he got his own place. Right. No matter how big it is or anything. Like,
by himself.
He's
and
working.
Definitely does
he's
not
working
have that.
it out to pay for that. He has his own place. He doesn't have anybody's kids. Like,
Okay, like her.
it, right. So he has it going on, I would say, for a young person trying to be on the come up and staying true to their passion. So if he got to work his way to the top and sell some paintings,
I just wish she would follow her footsteps. And because the difference between Niecy and MJ is MJ don't have kids and sleep with a whole bunch of people.
Right.
Like, she doesn't have responsibilities. She doesn't have other priorities. Whereas Niecy's just out here finding people on the internet.
It shows you the difference between men and women. Sometimes men focus on their career and they put that first and relationships come second. Whereas as women, because of our nature sometimes, we focus on wanting that family or the relationship first and then the career. And I think that's what Niecy kind of did. She had these kids hoping to build that family that she didn't grow up with her dad and having those issues with his addiction. So I think that her mind hasn't adjusted yet. But maybe experiencing something like New York in a city where people are just hustling and grinding, maybe it will be an awakening for her.
I hope so.
But I think she has it a little too easy all the time. When people are giving you money, when you come into your aunt's nice apartment, you're not struggling for real.
And you judging her and the size of her apartment and talking about Cosby's. Girl, but you don't live a Cosby life.
Girl,
and, come up here and pay
bedroom.
Okay, come up here and pay for a guest bedroom.
And has Niecy ever lived on her own?
No.
So she doesn't even know what that's like to have that type of responsibility.
Or to be a full-time mother, because even when she's not taking care of her kids, her grandmother is. And so I just feel like, Niecy, you need
it's
to...
a luxury. She doesn't realize it's a luxury to have people that you can call on. Watch your kids. Like, instead of really taking responsibility, like, maybe I shouldn't go to New York to see this boy. I should take care of my children. And, how am I how can I bring in some money this month? Or whatever.
Mind you now, most people who travel on the East Coast from, like, north, south, or backwards and forwards, they would take the Bolt bus. They would take the mega bus. We know Niecy was flown in, and it was paid for by her grandma. Again,
to be nosy.
Right. You know, to sightsee, to have a vacation. Now, okay, do you think she's a young woman? You know, we don't know. She hasn't had anybody since her ex. So is it wrong of her to have had a little excitement in New York and experience everything?
No, because Dante wasn't no good.
No, I don't think so. I'm here for her insecure tip. I think that she's insecure as in Issa Rae.
Right.
If y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I think that her being able to express her sexuality is amazing. Be positive.
Yeah.
Like, be a woman, because you're a human first, and you are a sexual being, and that's just how it works. That's the nature of us being human. We have sexual needs. I think she should do it in a safer way.
Well, at least she used condoms.
Well, yes, but
so?
meeting someone on the internet within weeks, I feel like is very risky. And you don't know where he is. You're going to his home,
right?
And you don't know. You're drinking water that you didn't see him make that water. You don't know what he put in it.
Right.
It's just so many things that are going on. You don't know what's going on in the world. And I also feel like, too, can you stop invading his privacy by taking pictures of him and sending them to your friends?
I mean, but don't you think that's how it happens?
I just don't. Yeah. I just wish that there was some type of privacy or discretion that this generation has, just a little bit more.
He was painting her while she was asleep.
No, I'm saying that, but it's also not getting sent to someone, and we also don't know who that girl is in that painting. Whereas you're taking a picture of my entire house and the background of what's going on in my home and sending it to someone else. Honestly, I would have kicked her ass out if I would have saw her doing like that. I appreciate
them showing, because I mean,
like what?
That's how it happens when, like, I've had some of my girls meet guys online and text me, "Hey, this is the address I'm going to,
exactly,
just in case." And you know, people are grown, you know, and they are having sex with people that they're meeting quickly, and you know, there are situations where it's turned into something more. It's turned into a relationship. I haven't had that experience myself, but I've heard. Okay. So it can happen. And I think sometimes you go into these things with this fairy tale mind.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it could happen to me. Maybe this could be the one. You know, you stay optimistic.
Right.
And maybe Niecy still. I think it's good to see that she still has that optimism. She's not jaded yet. She's not so hurt.
So you feel like she's doing it because she wants to find love? I feel like she's doing it because she's in a new city and she can do that.
I think she's looking for love. I think she is. She's low-key looking for a dad for her kids, and she's looking for that partner. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. She broadened her search. And
but what's the realistic? Like, how is that realistic?
I didn't say it was realistic, but she's being optimistic. That's what I'm saying. She's kind of building a fairy tale. She lives in a fairy tale place. You know what I'm saying? She's not hardened by not having like her car evicted because she ain't got no money. She ain't going hungry because she's not struggling like that.
Right.
So she still has the ability. She's in a safety net of her grandparents' house. She got a babysitter, so she has that safety net to kind of keeps her in La La Land.
Yeah.
She said La La Land.
Well, her aunt's in La La Land with Justin. That's why everybody done found out. And now Niecy was in La La Land with this boy.
The thing is, Justin was the one that slipped up with that.
What do you mean?
With what?
Because Aaron said that he told, because when he said the little slick comment about, you know, having sex with MJ and how he would like to take a bite out of her, Justin didn't budge. He didn't do anything.
I thought you meant like Justin was the one who revealed it, but Aaron was the one.
Well, my thing is too, like, how do you just assume that just because I don't say anything? Maybe I just don't want to talk about another woman in that way.
Exactly.
Like, how does that make me interested in her or involved with her? And what they should have did if they were smart, when Garrett addressed me, I'd be like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, like,
she was too quick to say, "Oh, we're seeing each other."
You're right. Yeah,
it's just
like,
damn.
I'm like, girl, think about your job. Like, at no point
she could have just denied it.
She's not putting her job first. She's putting Justin first.
Because she showed lied to Kara.
But I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Women are just so emotional most of the time. Not all the time, because there are some very career-oriented women out there who don't focus on men at all.
Right.
But at the same time, I think women struggle with that because we're super, super emotional. We just want to, we just, I don't know, I feel like we want that, that type of, like, I guess, comfort and someone to go home to.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for love in her own way, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Justin is a rebound, though, a little bit? Like, she just moved on so quickly.
By default, he is.
But I feel like she was ready to she was finding a reason to leave Lee. I feel like that was
gonna happen.
Reaching the end.
She was already having chemistry and connection with Justin before Lee was already over.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
She was thinking about him. She was walking past him. He was affirming her, teaching her how to interview. He's doing all these things for her,
Supporting
putting her
her.
on the top,
Her
getting
DJ
Rhonda
Khaled.
out. He's doing all of this, and it's like,
And it's sexy.
oh,
Yes.
I
And it's
think I
sexy.
want that.
Successful.
you
Build
know?
me up, okay?
Yes.
Get
Don't
my
she
She was
followers
like,
up.
I want that.
Yeah.
But at the
Yes.
same time, here we go, having Justin very comfortable with her having to lie. He was like, make sure Kara doesn't know about us. And then also when Aaliyah came up with that idea to make up that fake news about Sandra, the Martha Stewart type lady, you know, he was all for it, even though MJ was uncomfortable. So I feel like he's always very comfortable in a space where lying is.
I just think he plays the
manipulating.
game.
Yeah, he knows how to play
plays
the
the
game.
And he's
game.
playing it because he's trying to get to the top. That's his overall goal. He wants to be on top of everything. He wants to have Garrett twisted around his finger. He wants to be above Kara. He wants to make sure that his work is tied. Like, just like she see herself as power couple, he see that too. Like, I'm going to groom her and I'm going to make her and I'm going to take all the credit for it. And we're going to be out here popping and everybody going to want me as senior producer on their networks because of what I did with Mary Jane.
Man, I just don't. I feel like Justin isn't that bad anymore.
I don't think so either.
I feel like I don't. I mean, I hope not, but at the same time,
He got you.
I mean, no, I think that
I don't think he's bad. I think he's on a mission.
I think that he's a black man who's educated, and he's
Right.
like, look, I know how to play these people in this industry because
get
that's
what you want.
they've been
Well.
yeah, exactly, and that is how it is. Like, if I have a connect, just like Kara, oh, I want to get in good with Garrett, let me use my resources to get in good with it.
Girl.
That's how it works, and that's why he's at his position where he is now.
Right, and that's
Period.
why he
Exactly.
during last week's
And what resources am I not using?
deposition during last week's deposition, he kind of said, "Look, yo, I respect your game.
Yeah.
You're good at what you do."
But-
so let's talk about Garrett at this baseball game after party.
My
Girl.
God. I didn't know
He a
Garrett had
plum
it in
fool.
it.
Wait a minute.
What?
Garrett was living his entire
His
life
best
at
life.
that party.
Okay, because he didn't have one before that.
He didn't have
Exactly.
no home training. He don't know how to act.
He took that shirt off. I said, "Oh, so you bad?
So you ready to
So you
fight.
Wait a
tough.
minute.
Got not clean up.
Look, Garrett trusted a big butt and a smile, and it worked out for him. Okay?
Oh my
And
God.
she probably laid him on it too. She probably,
But I was
she
like,
probably
okay,
gave him a
Garrett.
ride. It's like, okay.
Right. He was like, "Oh, a black girl, I got this.
Right?
It's okay."
No, you saw he was scared at first. He's like, I don't know, y'all.
No, I don't think he was scared. He was just timid, but he needed
Yeah.
he
He
just
has-
needed that extra push.
Right.
And
Oh
it
my
was-
Okay,
God,
because
that
she
was-
and then she gave him a pushback.
Hold on, even after he got his butt beat, she was still down for the ride.
Yes.
Because he probably spent like, "Oh yeah, I'm a news director of GDU, and you know that's what I do." And she's probably like, "Okay, let me come
But
up off of you."
also-
Okay, coin.
But also, he stood up for her. You know, that's always respectful. You
Yeah.
know, like a guy standing up for you. She had two men fighting over her that night.
Oh,
That's
she
sexy.
hold on. She got into that fight because of him. Her.
The dude stepped to Garrett over her.
Yeah.
See, so Garrett got punched for her. He took a book.
Oh, he had to get a piece of that. He, no,
Exactly.
Oh my
But then he said it was a
He like,
pity.
oh, I got hit for you. We going home.
Right.
We going home.
I still agree with Kara. Like, Kara was freaking out over those crazy pictures, and just like, okay,
Yeah.
That's her boss.
But no, yeah, that's her boss, and like you don't know who's seeing this, and it's just like, Orlando, what are you doing? Like, you can't be out
Yeah.
here.
I thought it was smart of Orlando to take those pictures because then he could have something to blackmail Garrett with if he ever needed. So I felt like he was
Right, to have his
low-key-
girl back.
Yeah, looking out for his girl. She asked him to do
didn't
that,
think
and he
about
did
that.
it for her.
It's a lot of power couples this season.
So speaking of power
I
couples,
love
because
Kara and Orlando.
Me
too.
too.
I
do.
It's so cute.
And Orlando
so
really loves her.
he
He
really does.
does.
But
She
Orlando,
thinks she his mama though.
but he's not focused, and she's trying to. She's
he's not
like
focused.
Justin. Now that I think about it, Justin and Kara are very much alike.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
about their business. So Kara is
And trying to get their
their
significant
partner
other together.
Exactly. But Orlando, he's still playing with the friends.
He is. Get
And
it
I think that's going to
together.
backfire. But I don't think it's going to affect him. I think it's going to affect Kara.
Okay, so speaking of that, Kara
Aw.
asked MJ, like, where is your loyalty? So in a relationship, we kind of talked about this last week a little bit. Do you choose your man or you choose your friend?
Your friend.
Well,
I choose
what's the
whoever's
situation?
right, and that's
Right.
what I like about Justin too. He said, "I didn't side with her; I agreed with her." And
Yeah.
you can't. I'm not gonna just go along with something that you say just because it's you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm that type of friend where it's like, okay, if I know that my friend is wrong and she ends up getting us into a fight, I'll probably beat that girl's ass with you. But at
Right.
the same time, we're gonna
Like
have to
that
talk
was-
later on,
yeah.
and be like, "This was so stupid. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, what are you really achieving by saying, okay, well, I'm just going to side with this person because that's my best friend, so it don't really matter.
That's not being a good friend.
And that's not a professional. At the end of the day, because if you're not a friend that's going to tell me when I'm wrong, you're not a friend at all. You're willing to let me just die out. Like, that doesn't, hey. But Kara, I get that she's a ride or die, but Kara needs to understand that, look, if I'm going to be a better producer, I'm going to be a better broadcaster, I have to learn how to know what's bad and what's good, period.
Right. So, speaking of broadcasting, they had this fake, Aaliyah Planet, that we saw Aaliyah again. Do we like Aaliyah?
I'm telling y'all, what did I say?
You liked her. You did.
I like Aaliyah.
Aaliyah is like, look, I'm by myself as a black woman in this industry. You're alone as a black woman in this industry. Well, I feel like she's there to support MJ.
Like
period.
She did at the,
she's
the
like,
story
look,
meeting.
let's let this black girl magic work itself out, and we can work together. And that's why when they was in that meeting, she was like, no, I think this is a bad idea, and then gave her that like, girl, I got you.
Right.
Period.
When Justin left her out to dry and was like, no, I don't.
Because
agree.
exactly.
And then when Garrett wanted to still do the little Martha Stewart thing, she like, oh, okay, I'm about to plant some stuff and y'all gonna get it together because it's gonna be a fire interview because I'm doing this because I got your back.
Okay.
So during the interview, MJ, really talked to this woman and didn't let it affect her, how we normally see her getting riled up. What do you think of the way she conducted that interview?
She really held her composure. She did.
That's years of
her
practice.
Her sly little digs here and there, but she didn't get emotional. She didn't become like the big Mary Jane from Talk Back. Like when she would have fired at her.
Right.
Right. I see you as an ugly black woman.
Right. She treated her in a very classy way.
Yeah. I felt like she pulled the Michelle Obama and MJ went high when that lady went low.
Oh yeah, and I like that she took the note. Yeah, she took the note that Danny had put a plug in her ear, like, oh well, the black right. And I'm thinking like, okay, girl, but what does that have to do with the question that I just asked you?
Right.
That has
not
nothing.
My question. I was sitting on the edge of my seat that whole interview, like, calm down, Mary J. Like, don't do it, MJ. Like, don't go that way.
Keep
don't go that way.
She
had me. She got me together.
She almost took her there. But the funny thing is, like, as a producer, you do talk to the talent and you say things. And I think Danny is not as dumb as we think.
But is that her story?
It wasn't her story, but she low key, prepped her in her own way. You know what I'm saying?
She's gonna bring this up, so throw this back at her.
She probably may have just said it casually, and it stuck in the lady's mind, and then she ended up repeating it.
Right.
So Danny, she comes from the YouTube world. She comes from the digital world. She may not have the traditional training,
the millennial world,
right? That MJ has, but she's slick.
Either way it goes, you need to know protocol. You need to know who team you on. You need to know how to stay true to your job, or you ain't gonna have no job. Like, how dare you go to somebody who we're about to interview and try to prep them with questions to try to use them against me?
Against your job.
Right.
Like, I'm your boss. You're up under me.
Right.
At any given moment, you could be out of here. Like, what were you thinking?
But I like the way MJ caught her. But at first, when Danny came up to her and was like, "Oh my God, good job," I was like, "Oh, she's sincere." And then MJ was like, "Nope,
no,
I know what you did."
Because they smile in your face and stab you in the back. So no,
they smile in your face.
Okay.
Wow, they want to take your place.
But seriously, because I was just like, girl, don't play me. Like, and that's why I was so happy with that MJ. And it's crazy because it inspires me, because I feel like in the next episode they had talked about that too. Like, she can do whatever she wants. She's a white girl in this industry,
right?
And your push is harder than my push, because you get away with so many things that I can't get away with,
right?
And you're able to say things like, oh, well, the black community feels this way too, so you should agree too, as if I'm a bystander, like a spokesperson for the entire black community, because we all feel the same.
Right.
Because we're all
do you feel like
just
MJ,
like she told Danny, like, when do you become an expert?
She's still on thin ice at this job. Okay, she has this bad reputation, and here she goes getting into a relationship that is now very obvious in the workplace. I mean, that's not Danny's fault. That's her own fault. So she's messing herself up. And Danny coming in, she can find that loophole that MJ herself has created.
Yeah.
Danny didn't force her to sleep with Justin. She's doing all that on her own.
Yeah.
So you would think, as somebody who's been in the game a little bit longer, who knows the moves, that she would be more on top of her shit too. Pardon my French.
She's all.
You gotta tell her like it is sometimes.
Yeah, she's just all over the place. She just doesn't have her balance. I feel like that is.
I think Justin it's this new relationship. It's exciting.
It's a distraction.
And it's a distraction. And so, okay, now Justin.
But I think Justin has control, though. I don't think Justin
of her body.
Amen. But I don't think Justin is as controlled as MJ. I mean, no, I don't think MJ is as controlled as Justin, but Justin has control. Like, he see the way that this is going. He let her know, okay, be secret this, lie here, do this here, do what I say, take this interview, take this story, but at the same time, we're going to keep this under wraps. Make sure your girl is intact and make sure she's not saying nothing. But Justin, so he had it together and he was focused. What happened was, you know, he just got caught up by a guy who knew how a guy should respond to something. And then with MJ, she just all out in the open, like, you catching attitudes when he don't agree with you in the office.
But Justin was in the closet, and they was having sex, and Justin's the one that made them have sex on the desk.
Exactly.
And Justin is the one, and Justin, even though she was leaning on him, but it was out there.
Right. He didn't move away.
And she even brought up how Aaron has slept with other people in the job, and Garrett
brushed that off.
He shut that down because you see, there's that double standard.
Garrett,
they fend for themselves.
Exactly.
That's period, point blank, and that's what MJ needs to understand. And Justin has already understood that, and that's what I feel like Justin is trying to get her to grasp is. You have to play the game. You may not like the game. You may not like the rules. But this is what it is. Do you want to win or do you not?
But he's messing her up. He's not just saying, okay, these are the rules, follow them. Because there's sex and emotions involved, it's throwing her off. So I think that's
But she's getting thrown off.
Justin's not throwing her. You think she should be more of a G and be like, okay, I can do both?
Yeah.
Got you a girl who could do both?
Yes, exactly.
If it was just Justin, if like Garrett confronted them separately, Justin would have been like, what are you talking about?
Because he's smart.
Immediately.
Yes.
And this one over here saying, we in love.
She was the first one to answer. She like
defending her relationship.
Yes, we're seeing each other.
Affect our work.
Exactly. And she was stupid to say that. What's the one that told on them? What's his name? Aaron. You're stupid to bring up Aaron because you don't have proof that he slept with anyone else. So you bringing that up, and Garrett. That's why Garrett clapped back because that's what I was about to say in my mind too.
Rumor.
Like, do you know this for sure?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, Aaron's not being.
But the thing about it is, Garrett took their rumor and ran with it. He didn't.
But she was goofy enough to confirm it.
Yeah, they could have been in there like, nah, I don't know what.
Exactly. He could have been. You know how they say, don't ask a question you don't already have the answer to. So he could have been throwing it out.
He already had his mind set up. He had Justin's plane ticket ready. He already had
as a repercussion because whether it was true or not, he was like, I can't have this again because it's his job on the line too, and he want to keep on partying with Orlando. Okay, he's not gonna mess himself up. Right. So he was like, I gotta handle this no matter. I have to show everybody else that I'm not gonna let this go. Yeah. Speaking of another guy looking out for himself, we had Mr. Akil with the artwork talking about, can I meet your auntie?
Look, show it to her. See, you know,
hey,
talk about it.
Niecy always getting somebody that's trying to use her.
I don't think that.
You don't think he knew? He didn't know that was her aunt.
Yes, he did.
No, well, she said it. She said it. She mentioned it.
Yeah.
She did say my auntie has a nice apartment. So
she mentioned it.
And then he like, your auntie's Mary Jane Paul, right? And she like, yeah. Like he asked. He
found that out on the ground.
No, she mentioned that her aunt was she worked at GDU, and then that's when he was like, oh, okay, well, can you help a brother out? Like, I mean,
do you think it was a valid question, like just a regular ask, or do you think he was trying to use her?
If I'm living in New York City, you seeked me out and you saw what I'm trying to do, and your aunt is on GDU, the face of GDU. I'm stupid.
Ask.
Yeah. Okay.
But if the tables were turned, if you were the artist and the guy had the connect, would you ask him?
Yes. Okay. Why not? If it's not, I'm not hurting you, and if I know that I'm not, he might genuinely like Niecy.
Right. And it did seem sincere.
Yeah, I'm painting. I mean, he got a whole bunch of paintings that he did.
Have a lot of
types of women, not just her.
But I feel like when he first met her, if he really wanted to do all that, or if he had found out or known, like I feel like he would have just stopped talking to her. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen, but at the same time, I feel like get it how you live. Like if you know that you have a connect. Kara's doing it. Justin's doing it.
If you can.
And we all black people, we all need to work together. Yes. So if you win, I win. We all win. Yeah. Period.
See, for me, I'm funny with that because if I was Niecy, I would have been like, oh, so that's what you all about.
Of course.
I would have felt a little funny. I would have had to weed him out. And I mean, they worked with me together 2 days.
She kept rolling her eyes at the whole thing every time he was saying it.
But she brought that painting over too.
She did.
She trucked that painting through
because it was her
train
painting.
and everything.
She was intrigued.
She was intrigued.
Wait, can you imagine Grandma seeing that painting? Like, girl, where you get this from?
Who thought you? From Thought Ave. That's where. Because that's what you do. Right, she's not a thought. She's living her life and she's single. She can do what she wants.
She's a single mother. She needs to have fun too.
I think about all those paintings though, and how many women have been up in that apartment posing for him naked.
hey, you know, you lay down.
He doing it, okay?
You met him on Tinder, so you could only get what you thought.
And he met all the other tricks on Tinder, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tinder. What was it called?
Well, not Tinder, but Tinder off-brand. Save a lot Tinder.
Prowler.
Proud.
When the whole relationship between MJ and Justin gets revealed, MJ accuses Kara. Now, did y'all think that was foul?
Yes.
Or did you think she was
After
right?
everything that they have been through, she knows, even in all their arguments, Kara has never and will never throw her under the bus.
Right.
Like, why would you think she would do that? And like I said, it's the whole studio knows y'all are not discreet going to the editing bay every 2 seconds. Like,
leaning your head on
everyone
him.
knows what you're doing. So I thought that was wrong, especially since they were already on thin ice. Like, you told them, you're like, okay, really? I have every reason to.
Yeah.
But after everything we've been through, no, I didn't tell on you.
I think MJ was just trying to cross it off her list. Like, because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I probably would ask, too, like, did you tell? Because, I mean, I don't think that it makes MJ a bad friend. I can see how it would be disrespectful to Kara because that's offensive because you should consider me to be your sister friend. But at the same time, Kara had threatened that earlier.
Yeah.
So when you say something like that, and my first thought is,
makes me wonder.
shit, Kara, did you do this? Like, and you're pissed, and you don't even consider us friends anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, did you? And I don't feel like MJ addressed it in a mean way. Like, bitch, did you tell on me?
But she asked her twice. Kara said no, and then she said
like,
again.
She wanted to confirm it. She was like, okay, you talking all this noise, but did you?
But
like,
for me, I'm sensitive, so I would have been like, girl, here you go.
Doing your thing.
Well, you just so hypnotized by this guy. You need to focus on your job, and you over here accusing me when it wasn't even me.
Yeah.
So, and you're making enemies along the way, and you can't even see. Like her blinders are preventing her from seeing everything that's going on. All the enemies that she's making at her job.
I don't see the enemy she's making at the job.
Didn't you see everybody who looked at her at the end of the episode? It was Danny. It was that other correspondent who ended up having to do the toilet paper segment. Yeah, so
but those are not her problems. Those are
they're her coworkers.
Those people falling out with her are not her fault. Danny, I can agree with.
Yes, it is. Because she's doing things that's making life harder for them at their job. Here it is, that other woman had to do.
But what is she doing?
She went ahead. Her relationship with Garrett is preventing her from being biased, and Garrett's giving her preferential treatment. And then the things that they're agreeing on, it seems like they're teaming up against everybody else. So
no, I don't think so.
It creates an uncomfortable workplace for everybody else.
Is Garrett that's doing this. He didn't say, okay, we can do the Sandra story and Danny, you can keep on with the interview. No, he said, okay, we're going to do this story because I said so, and then MJ is going to interview her because I said so, and y'all going to take this toilet paper stuff.
Well,
he did that. That had nothing to do with MJ.
Before
she didn't
that
set
happened,
that up. She didn't even want to take that interview.
Before that happened, here Kara goes trying to save her, trying to pull up another story, and then that gets pushed to the wayside. And Kara had an opportunity on her first day to look.
MJ has no control over any of that.
Well, yes, she does. Her actions in the workplace affect everybody. That's just my opinion.
I mean we can agree to disagree. My thing is, the problem with MJ and Garrett is that Garrett knows her from being more aggressive or assertive with the issues that she likes to talk about.
Right.
Justin was once her enemy at 1.2 because she wouldn't do her job and Justin called her out on it. That's why she got fired from her first job. Right. So that makes Justin an enemy. You're lying to Kara. That makes Kara an enemy now. You're betraying Kara. Now keeps going deeper and deeper. Danny just don't like you, period, because you conflict all the views that I have.
Right.
And then what's Aaron? He thinks you're trying to take his spot. Which now Aaron, I don't know where that came from.
Aaron has no reason to think like that because nobody's thinking about you. Nobody ever said anything about you.
You're co-anchors.
Like y'all on the same morning show together every single day. Like where do you get somebody trying to take your spot from? Y'all share the same spot. You with her.
Well, maybe because
the way they did Rhonda. You know what I'm saying? How Justin got kind of Rhonda out. Just because you work together don't mean your spot is secure. Look how Kara got kicked out.
No one is your friend.
But the whole Rhonda thing makes sense because Mary Jane would be the replacement for her. But how is Mary Jane
it just puts everybody on shaky ground.
Well, also too, maybe when they found, I mean, obviously because MJ didn't know that Aaron was the one that told, so she was the first one to say, well, Aaron's slept with all these people, so I mean, maybe that got back around to Aaron too.
We never know.
Yeah, there's so many things
Not
like
that
it's,
fast.
especially in it's news.
It just happened,
It's
though.
news, and I feel like people who do the news, they like news, and I mean, and I just feel like not even if you're in that profession at all, even if you talk to somebody and
you know how work gossip goes around quick.
gossip. Period. You always got a best friend that won't tell nobody.
Exactly, girl, don't say nothing. Then you be telling one person.
Exactly, they got a best friend who ain't gonna tell nobody either. Exactly. My best friend won't tell nobody, but and then you tell your best friend, oh well, I got a best friend that won't tell nobody either, and then it just keeps going in a cycle, and it's like, no,
Like telephone.
no, okay, and then the message is something completely different. So it's like now, Justin, you gonna be in Kansas this weekend?
Look, okay, so Mary Jane is distraught about her boo leaving for
I'm
a week.
her.
I mean, girl, get over it.
It's like gonna be a long time.
She said, just in a new relationship. Oh, I can't believe you're gonna be gone
Holding
for a week.
hands, stressed out. I was like, girl, bye.
And they
It's only
still
1
don't
week.
get it after y'all just had this meeting with Garrett.
Team lead.
I'm just like, I need her to boss up. Like, be the boss that we know her to be. Don't let this man come in and mess up everything that you worked for. That's gonna benefit. Want, like you said last week, you know,
I mean, but at the same time, this
relationship
wasn't planned.
It doesn't matter. Your job that pays your bills, that's paying for you to have the lifestyle that you lead, that's helping your family.
Never shit where you sleep.
Exactly. You making everybody look bad. You making all the black people look bad. You making all the women look bad.
Okay.
You know, so I just would love for her to think big picture and not just think Justin's penis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She said
she
not
should
just
be
think
happy that
Justin's
Justin's
penis.
gonna be gone for a week. Like,
Well,
he was opportunity. Like, let me focus on
She
work.
wasn't
Let me be
expecting that,
gone.
you know?
Like, let me try and get some things together. Like, he's not gonna be here. You know.
So let's get into
She'll probably-
predictions.
she'll
Let's get
probably
into
do that, though.
that makes me think about what we think is going to happen next week. Let's get into some predictions for next week. What do you think, Sarah? I'll start with you. MJ's boo is gone for a week. What's going to happen?
Well, first of all, I'm sad that does this mean we're not gonna see Michael next week?
Hashtag light eyes. That's the hashtag.
Hashtag no more sensual.
So actually, I'm thinking that, okay, as much as I love Kara and Orlando together, I think they're so great. I almost think they're like too good right now. There has to be some kind of, okay, I'm glad that Kara is happy and she's in a healthy relationship.
Too
but
good to be true.
I feel like there has to be some kind of drama coming up. And especially when they're pushing Orlando, like, do you want to do this broadcasting? Like, maybe, you know, tone it down with the partying and everything. Like, I feel like there might be some drama there with them. In terms of Mary Jane, I want to see her get more focused this week without Justin being there, without the distraction. Like, go for what you want. Like, keep a good head on your shoulders. Like, get it together, girl.
Okay. All right.
Girl.
What you think? After you take a sip of this tea.
I still believe that Kara's going to get assigned to MJ stories, and they're not going to like that with each other. I believe that some kind of way Aaron is going to team up with Danny, and they're going to try to get MJ out. I believe that, you know, whoever Justin out there with, he going to find somebody else to be sensual with.
In Kansas for a week, girl.
A whole week. Look.
That's all.
Okay, that's all they take.
Look, it took Nikki 2 days.
That's a shame.
It's all they take. It took them one night, and then next you know, he broke up with his girlfriend. So you never know what he gonna be doing out there in Kansas, and who he gonna be with, and who he gonna tell MJ when she come back. Oh, it was just sex. Like, that's what he did to her. So you can't push nothing past light eyes. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think I definitely disagree with, you know, Kara and Orlando's relationship going haywire, but I do believe Orlando was going to try to make a change, because when she was like, you can't keep dragging your boys around, he did look at homeboy sleep on his couch like, nah, you need to get up, fool. Because, you know, he really agrees. I believe he's going to make a change for the better, and then when he finally starts changing, I believe he's going to get promoted in some kind of way, and Garrett's going to bring him on the team, and Kara's going to be jealous.
Okay, I like it.
I think
what you
that.
think?
I think what did I write down actually? I think that Orlando's friends are gonna get Kara in trouble. Something bad is gonna happen with that. I don't know exactly what, but I also think that we saw in the preview that Danny makes a racist remark, saying like, "Oh, I thought she got hired or he got hired because we needed another black," which obviously in 2017 we do not talk like that anymore. But I feel like within that week of him being gone, MJ's gonna get into it with Danny. Danny's gonna be like, "Oh, I feel attacked."
Right.
And she's going to probably say,
HR.
yeah, she's going to say something to Garrett. Garrett's going to probably address it in some type of way. Justin's going to come back and have to clean up the mess. And it's just going to be like, okay, well, I've been gone for a week, girl.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to mess with anybody. I hope not, Portia, girl. I mean,
I hope not either, but you can't push nothing past Justin.
Exactly.
He's sneaky.
He is sneaky. Well, I think Kara and MJ are going to continue to have the issues, you know.
Yeah.
The trust is broken. Kara's fed up. She got a lot on her mind, and MJ just coming with her same old immature BS, like, you know, and Kara is here for her as a good friend still, but she's tired. So I think we're going to see the issues there. I think definitely the issues in the workplace are going to continue, and we're going to see people looking at MJ like kind of like a scallywag, like you loose, girl, you all up and you just got here, now you sleeping with, you know, your fellow producer, like, come on, be professional. So I think that's really gonna, you know how Kara was worried about her reputation, MJ's reputation is gonna be really messed up from this. And so, and I think grandma, Niecy gonna go back and tell grandma
everything,
what she saw. She says she's not gonna say anything, and I like the way her and MJ had to like bribe each other. But Niecy gonna tell grandma something, and grandma, she not gonna let it rest. So
do you think Niecy's gonna move to New York? I don't know. I feel like something
great, but I don't think she's ready.
She's not on that.
She's not,
because it was
she got to take her kids. Who gonna watch her kids for her?
Oh,
watch
true.
her kids.
She ain't got no
Where's she
job
gonna stay?
yet.
She's not gonna be sleeping in MJ's living room the whole time.
I forgot.
With Travion in the back.
Like,
I know.
She won't be able to afford it. Just like she said, MJ could be paying for a mansion in Atlanta for what she paying for that little apartment. So if her auntie can't afford a big house, then you can't either.
Yeah.
Like, you got kids. Like, who gonna watch your
you
kids?
know, it
Achille
happens. It happens all the time. People come from a smaller city to a bigger city like New York, and even though the apartments are small, even though it's smelly, the energy there, all the experiences that you can have, you know, some people do get lured by that and do want to stay. But I don't see Niecy being that ambitious yet, because and what I really liked is how her aunt told her, you need to find your passion, and she was like, you could see she was a little insecure, and that's maybe she's like, okay, I don't know what my passion is yet, but I do know that I can be with a guy.
Hair.
That's what I said. I was thinking the same thing.
We ain't
I'm
seen
like,
her.
girl, don't you want to do hair?
I mean, her hair is always laid, but we ain't seen her do nobody else's hair.
And her makeup.
She's just not ambitious. That is Niecy's problem. She's not ambitious.
You know,
she
maybe
doesn't have to work for anything. So
she
why
just want
would
to be regular.
Exactly.
That's what she wants to do.
Shout out to Cardi B.
Okay,
Bodak
okay. But no, she does. I think that's just what she wants.
But you know what it is too? I mean, think about it. She was a teen mother. Everybody already looked at her like she messed up. So her confidence is probably a little shot. So when she meets these guys that give her a little bit of affection and confidence, it's probably like those moments where she's like, oh, I feel good about myself. You know how being with somebody who tells you you're pretty, who wants to have sex with you, makes you feel a little loved, and I think that's where she is. And I think that's a lot of young women and older women too.
Yeah.
Look at MJ, shoot, she had Lee tell her that he loved her the first night. So it's something that, you know, when you're struggling with self-esteem, no matter what age you are, sometimes you look outside for that affirmation.
Which is interesting because I feel like MJ had a very upstanding growing up. Like I don't even think I mean, like Niecy, I can understand that, but with MJ, it's like you were okay. Right. I mean, we have everybody has their issues within themselves, but it's very interesting to me that MJ is struggling with that. But I do feel like MJ.
We don't know everything.
No, sure, no, for
if
sure.
You think, like, from the outside, she came from a 2-family home. They had money.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
she went to a good school.
Yeah, because I mean, in comparison to other people who don't have that type of life, I can understand, or I see why it went down that path, and I'm a little bit more empathetic. Yeah. But with Niecy, and not so much with Niecy, but with MJ, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I get you're a woman and you're a human and you're going through life just like everybody else, but it's just like, I don't know. And then Niecy, you have your aunt as an example, and she tells you you're beautiful. She tells you that, okay, let's get on a weight plan. Let's do this. Let's do that. And you still aren't doing it. And I just feel like some people just like misery. Yeah. And I feel like that's a little bit a part of who Niecy is.
But
I think
know
she
what
just
it
likes
is too?
it.
You ever seen somebody who's complacent with being the friend of the celeb or the friend of the rich person, so they can be like, oh, well, my auntie does
her
this.
mama do here.
Yeah, so she might have come to a place where she's just okay with knowing knowing that she has these people around her, and she doesn't have to do the work to be that person herself.
And then some people like that lifestyle. Some people like that 2 kids that I ain't doing nothing. I live off child support. I live off welfare.
Yeah, you can settle into that. Like, oh, I guess no one else expects anything.
Absolutely,
so I guess I don't have to do
that's
much
true.
more.
And I love that, ladies. This is amazing because I was thinking of what the theme is, and I feel like the theme is that one of the themes that we saw tonight is like find what you're passionate about, but once you find it, you got to work at it.
You have to work at it.
You got to work at it, and you got to get out of smallism. Like, you got to see the broader picture. Like, you're able to do these things if you actually put your mind to it. You're able to step out. You're able to make your role as broad as you want it to be. Like, you don't have to be contained in a box, and you can take your resources. You can work your magic. Exactly. You can slick talk.
You can pray.
Do whatever pray, get it together. Like, the whole thing with Niecy is she don't understand. Like, she don't understand the magnitude of her life. She just see it as, I make mistakes, my family clean it up. I make mistakes, my family clean it up. She doesn't see the whole thing like, okay, I make mistakes, I have the ability to pick myself up, wipe myself off, affirm myself, believe in myself, and get started with anything that I got going on, and have the faith that it's going to happen. And that faith would have her working hard, you know?
On that note, ladies, believe in yourself. You don't have to sleep your way to the top, but if you do, be safe. I want to thank everybody that, wrote in last week. We had Casey Case, Quintessential 2, Valerie Smith, Monique Anduz. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me on social media at Tsahai. And where can they find you?
Thank you all so much for watching. This Portia Carter. You can find me on all social media platforms at Portia Carter.
You can find me on Twitter at Sarah Lyons and on IG at Sarah_Lyons.
Oh, don't forget E. Starkey and Dominique Graham. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, it's okay. We ended it with me. My name is Raquel Harris. You can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
Thank you so much. Also, Portia Carter, you wrote, and then Cecilia Manu. See you guys next week, next Tuesday, right here on Black Hollywood Live.
Ew.
Good night.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.